It's time the freeloaders are no longer freeloaders. So we're starting with Raven. The vet's out today. We're gonna check to see where they're at in their cycle. So we're gonna see if they're building follicles, if they're coming into heat. If they are in heat, we are gonna go ahead and culture them and possibly flush them. But we're just kind of getting a lay of the land pre-breeding season. I also have an embryo flush that I purchased, and they're checking that mare. It's in a whole different state. She's out in Texas. So they're checking her tomorrow. So hopefully one of my recips is somewhere in the realm of can be set up with that mare so that I don't have to spend a gajillion dollars on a rent-a-recip. So hopefully, crossing our fingers, somebody has a similar follicle size to the mare we are flushing. So Raven has had a foal before. This wouldn't be her first baby, but we've never foaled her out. So hopefully she's gonna be carrying either for this mare I purchased an embryo from, or for Trudy, or one of the big mares. So after this, I'm kind of gonna go rapid fire on all the recips we're checking, if they have a follicle, how big the follicle is, if they need flushing, if they don't, if they're in heat, all those things. So Raven's up first. So her cervix is tight, not a whole lot of activity, not in heat. So Raven's done, Willow's up next. All right, Willow's up next. Oh my gosh, she is so much juicier than she was last year when we were checking her. You do look kind of nasty though. You've been rolling in the mud. Willow's Dr. Matthews' favorite because she growls at him. So Willow is in heat, a little different than Raven. You see that tomato, the little wagon wheel / tomato looking thing right there signifies they're in heat. So due to her being in heat, we are going to go ahead and take a culture and make sure she doesn't have anything like an infection or anything. So that's her follicle size. It's like a 3-5. So we keep track of how big the follicles are, on what side they're on, and then we can kind of track their progression. And, depending on that mare that I am flushing tomorrow, Willow might be in the running to sync them up. So Maggie actually is Dr. Matthews' favorite, so he's happy to see her back. She doesn't growl at him and try to hurt him. So Maggie has a 4.3. Which side is this on?
Right.
On the right. So I'm promising y'all right now, even if Beyonce is ready to breed, we're not doing it. We're gonna short cycle them and do it at the end of the month. I'm not having a scare again with you specifically. So we're gonna go ahead and culture her. We're gonna let her go out of heat, and then depending on when Beyonce, and then sync them up together. That is so interesting. She's lactating right now, dripping white milk. You're not pregnant. What the heck? Next is Miss Charlotte. I need you to be on your best behavior, pretty girl. So Charlotte's got a 2.8 on her right. So we're gonna keep track of that. And last but not least is Beyonce. You were not a plan for today, but Maggie's just too perfect. And if you're in heat, then we'll let y'all get out of heat together, and then we'll sync you up to breed you at the end of the month. We're not doing it now. I've learned my lesson. Okay, here's Beyonce. Does she look like she's in heat at all, or?
Not from her uterus, no. Her uterus is, she does have a big follicle on the right.
Oh, huge follicle. Good Lord.
Yeah,
That's a 4-5. Good Lord. So Beyonce's looking like she's kind of at like the tail end of her heat, and that kind of puts her perfect with Maggie. So we are going to check them both next week, and if they're both out of heat, and then we'll start syncing them up to breed Beyonce to Making Me Willy Wild and do the embryo transfer and all that good stuff. As for my recips, the mare that I'm getting the embryo from isn't being checked until tomorrow, and so I won't know if they sync up with her until tomorrow. And if I have one that does, or two that we can set up for, that's perfect. If not, I'll have to use a rent-a-recip out in Texas. So I hope you enjoyed that little check. Let me know if you have any questions, because breeding season's about to ramp up.